Still private practice? Oh. That looks like a serial killer.
It's not a movie.
I know.
You just mean like the vibe.
Yeah. Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
Let it fly. Let's go right here.
Okay, here we go. Let's go now.
Hey, get ahead, stay ahead right here.
Let it fly. Let's go right here.
Please.
Let it fly. Let's go right here.
Okay, here we go. Let's go now.
Stand.
Hey, get ahead, stay ahead right here.
Okay, here we go. Let's go now.
Hey, get ahead, stay ahead right here.
All right, everyone. Thank you if you're joining. If you're not, you can catch the recording of this at another time. But welcome to opening day, everyone. It's an exciting day. Might not be able to get to the ballpark, but we are here to watch some baseball played by computer sprites. I'm Tucker Diedrich. I will be your lead commentator. I'll be your lead play-by-play, color commentator, sideline reporter, and just overall fan here today as we are ready for Brewers baseball here. Using MLB The Show, using current lineups, just going to do whatever we can to kind of bring some normalcy and just watch some baseball. Enjoy the game, everyone. We're going to have a good time here today as your Milwaukee Brewers in their home opener are taking on the Chicago Cubs. It's opening day here at Miller Park. A sold-out crowd here in the final year that it is known as Miller Park. Opening day. It's always exciting. So grab a brat, grab a beer, and sit back and enjoy the game. Enjoy the sights and the sounds of Miller Park. There's Heidi Watney. She's talking about something right now. Her audio isn't that good right now. So hopefully we'll get down to her a little bit later. Yeah, Heidi, we can't hear you. But there is the 2018 MVP Christian Yelich. Season cut short last year. That broken kneecap against the Marlins. And your starting pitcher today on opening day, Brandon Woodruff. He's going to hope to break that Brewers curse. Starting pitchers on opening day have not fared well in the coming season. You'll remember Jalees Chacin. He was DFA'd after his opening day start. Chase Anderson doesn't even make the postseason roster in 2018 as the players are getting introduced. New free agent acquisition, Justin Smoak, and they're out there for the national anthem. It's a great day for baseball. We're glad you're with us here. As Brandon Woodruff will get the start today. He was 11-3. Missed most of the second half of the season. That oblique injury that really made the Brewers scramble to try to find somebody in the trade deadline. They picked up Jordan Lyles, and he was the one that kind of helped them solidify that starting rotation. And Javier Baez, he's going to be the one that's going to be the first up for the Cubs here. Welcome as he takes the ball outside, and we're underway here for the 2020 season of Milwaukee Brewers baseball here using MLB The Show, doing a simmed season. Kind of the guidelines of how this sim season is going to work. All of the lineup changes, all the call-ups, all those things are going to be done by the computer as Baez fouls one off, 1-1. All that's going to be done by the computer, injured list, anything like that. I am just here to make sure the game runs. That's literally all I'm going to do. As Baez hits a hot shot to Braun, and he's going to make the snap for the first out of the inning. As we take a look at your starting lineup for the Chicago Cubs here, Javier Baez, Jason Hayward, and Chris Bryant, followed by Wilson Contreras, Anthony Rizzo, and Kyle Schwarber. And then Ian Happ, Jason Kipnis, and Kyle Hendricks round up the lineup for the Cubs. As you can see there, 8th in the NL last year with over 1,300 hits. And that brings up Jason Hayward, playing right field here tonight. And takes one down for a ball.
Ball one, no strike.
Jason Hayward in his 5th season with the Cubs. Got a career 261 average, 144 home runs. And check swing, but it's still called a strike. Even the count, 1-1. Saw a quick glimpse of who your umpires are today. I didn't see them, so they all have the same name to me. They're all blue. That's what you call them. Got a bad call? Hey, Blue, where was that? Close pitch. Close play out of bag. Come on, Blue. Gotta figure it out. You know, they're all called Blue. Woodruff down 3-1 here on Hayward. Looks like Narvaez wants it high. And that's going to miss up. So that's going to be the first base runner of the game for Chicago. Counsell already getting in the ear of the umpire. He is not happy with where that pitch was. You better cool it. It's a long season there, Counts. This is only the third batter of the season coming up. Settle down. It's Chris Bryant. Makes his way to the plate. Batted .282 last year. 31 home runs, 77 RBIs. A lot of questions in the offseason about what the Cubs were going to do. They were trying to unload a lot of payroll, and they got a lot of guys in the final year of their contract. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do and where they're going to be at when the trade deadline approaches. As Bryant takes one down low, 1-0. Yeah, you can see the Cubs definitely being a bunch of sellers at the trade deadline if they're not in the position that they feel they should be come July. And the 1-1. That's outside. 2-1 here to Bryant here in the first inning. Hayward with the 1-out walk. He's on first. And a swing and a miss on the nice slider there. That evens the count at 2-2. And he fouls that one off. And a swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout. Brandon Woodruff, the first one of the season. And the Brewers have 2 out here in the top of the first. Just comes back with the heat right on the inside corner, and Bryant was way behind that one for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Wilson Contreras. And that's a called strike on the outside corner. He tries to spin the changeup in there, but that misses inside. 1-1. Comes the 1-1. Oh, up and in. Gets away from Narvaez, and the runner's going to go. Throw down to second, and he's going to be in there. That should be a passed ball. So a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs in the first. You got to imagine Contreras is going to be eyeing something up here to drive. 2-1 count. Early trouble here for Woodruff. Already thrown 17 pitches here. And he gets a slider in there at the knees for called strike. Crowd making a little noise here, trying to get behind their starting pitcher. Try to get out of this jam here in the first. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that is going to do it for the Cubs here in the first. Well, they get a base runner on the Hayward walk, but Brandon Woodruff strikes out 2. And after a half inning, we just have a 0-0 game. Kyle Hendricks is going to be your starting pitcher here for the Cubs on opening day. 11-10 record, 30 starts, about a 3.5 ERA. Getting that opening day start over Darvish and Lester. A very formidable starting rotation for the Cubs. Leading off for the Brewers is going to be Lorenzo Cain. He swings and he's going to hit a grounder. Baez has got that one. He's going to make the play over to first, but it gets away. And that is going to be an error on Baez. And the Brewers have a leadoff runner here in the first. Cain does have pretty good speed, but he doesn't have the speed that he once used to have. So Baez didn't really need to hurry the throw, and he just throws one in the dirt. He had plenty of time, and lucky that one didn't go into the camera well there. Otherwise, Cain would be sitting over at first. Or over at second. And that's going to bring up Christian Yelich with a runner on first. Had another MVP season going, but had the fractured kneecap against the Marlins off that foul ball, and sideline. He's going to hit a little chopper over to third, and Hendricks is going to grab it, and he is not going to be anywhere close to getting Yelich with his wheels, and that should be an infield single for Christian Yelich. So quite the way to start the season for the Brewers. A throwing error, infield single. Not exactly how you draw it up, but you'll take it any way you can. as Castanera steps up. He swings and pops it up in the infield. That should be an infield fly roll, and it is. And that's going to be out number 1 for the Brewers.
Batting fourth. The left
Starting lineup for the Brewers here today: Lorenzo Cain, Christian Yelich, and Castanera. That's going to be followed by Garcia, Braun, and Narvaez. And then rounding it off, we got Jed Jerko, Orlando Arcia, and the always formidable hitting pitcher, Brandon Woodruff, in the 9 spot. Now up to bat, Evisel Garcia, free agent acquisition from Tampa Bay in the offseason. Hoping to provide some much-needed power that the Brewers lost in the offseason. You lost Yasmani Grandal, you lost Mike Moustakas, even Eric Thames. He swings and hits a grounder over to third. See if there's a chance for 2. There's 1. And another one gets away. That goes out of play. And faux David Ross is not thrilled by how his team is playing, as there's another throwing error. It's not going to be an error. It's just going to be a fielder's choice. But that is going to make the score 1-0 here in the first. And here comes the veteran, Ryan Braun. Swing, chops that one foul. So the Brewers taking a stab at those first pitches from Hendricks here today. Must have been part of the game plan. Go after him early. Try to see if you can get a good pitch to hit and rip it. But as you've seen, none of these pitches have left the infield so far. Braun takes one inside, 1-1. He's down 2-1.
Count is 2-1.
Yeah, for being the 5th batter up in the inning, and Kyle Hendricks only throwing 8 pitches, that shows you how aggressive these Brewers hitters are early in these at-bats. They're not going to be looking at a lot of pitches. They want to get on top right away. Braun hits one down the line. Is that one going to stay fair? It's not. Off the wall, but foul. 2-2 here to the first baseman. Going to be playing a lot of first baseman. A packed outfield for the Brewers this year, and he swings and misses that changeup for the final out of the inning. Well, the Brewers get 1 run, they get 1 hit, couple throwing errors by the Cubs help them out, and they'll go to the second, leading 1-0. Anthony Rizzo is going to lead off here for the Cubs here in the top of the second.
Number 44, Anthony.
Good strong hitter out of the 5-hole. He is he's just a guy you don't want to face with guys on, but when you see him leading off an inning, nothing wrong with that. He actually led off. He was in the leadoff spot for the Cubs in a couple of games last year, and actually did really well for him. The Cubs performed really well when Anthony Rizzo was in that leadoff spot. Provide that spark every once in a while that you like to see. It's just what the madman Joe Madden would do. He just would put guys wherever they felt they were going to play the best and see what happens. As Rizzo's up in the count, he's up 2-0 right away here. Here on opening day for the Brewers. And he swings and misses on a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. And Woodruff climbing back, 2-1 here. Chases one down low, evens up the count, 2-2 here. And a swing, and he's going to take that one center field. Base hit here to lead off the second. First hit of the game for the Cubs. Had the shift on, just didn't have the guy in the right spot.
The left fielder.
This pitch
Kyle.
just sits back and drives that one right back where it came from. Garcia was in a good spot, but just a little bit over his head. Couldn't do much with it. That's going to fall harmlessly for a base hit. Brings up the left fielder, Kyle Schwarber. He takes one outside, 1-0. This is going to be a really tough division once again for everybody. The Cardinals, the reigning champs, they're going to be tough again. The Reds made a lot of moves as Schwarber hits one foul. Reds made a lot of moves. They signed Mike Moustakas. They got a bunch of guys from the Indians and some trades in the middle of last season and even in the offseason. Schwarber chases that changeup down low, 1-2. So going into this season, wouldn't have thought that the Brewers and the Cubs, you know, who've been at the top of the division for the last few years, would be the ones that are going to be kind of third and fourth possibly going into it, as Schwarber strikes out for the first out of the inning.
Batting seventh, the center fielder, number 8.
But that's just the way this division's going. It's very competitive. It's probably going to be the toughest division in the National League once again. Even the Pirates, you know, and there's one down the line, but that's foul. Nice play by the ball boy there on the left field side. Ian Happ showing that he didn't do anything last year. I probably have some stats that prove otherwise. I don't. And here comes the 0-1, and that's a foul tip into the glove, 0-2. Pirates will probably be at the bottom of the division, but they'll be stingy as always. They're always going to play it tough. And that one's in the dirt, and it's chased, and that's going to be the second out. And then the runner's going to advance. He's going to be safe on the wild pitch. So Rizzo advances to second on the ball in the dirt. But it is another strikeout for Woodruff. That's his fourth strikeout of the game already. And that's going to bring up Jason Kipnis, the second baseman. But another tough division. Toughest one in the National League. Wouldn't be surprised if, once again, another wild card team comes out of the Central. Got to figure the Cardinals would be the favorites to win it again. It's hard to say where the Brewers are right now. They don't have the power in the lineup like they did last year. They're hoping to piece it together. As Kipnis takes a strike right down the middle. Here comes the pitch, and that's going to be a grounder. Braun has that one easy. He's going to take it to first himself. And the leadoff single goes for naught. As Woodruff works around that one again. One hit, one stranded. After an inning and a half, Brewers still up 1-0. Omar Narvaez. I'm going to learn how that pronunciation actually works eventually. He is going to lead off the bottom of the second, acquired in a trade with the Seattle Mariners in the offseason, making his Miller Park debut. And he swings and chops one foul, 0-1.
Ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Narvaez had 22 home runs, 53 RBIs for the Mariners last year. Hoping to provide a little bit more of that power as he rolls one over to first for the out. That's the first one of the inning. Hoping to provide some
The third baseman.
of that power. Taking a look at the club's defense, Schwarber, Happ, and Hayward in the outfield. In the infield from left to right, Bryant, Baez, Kipnis, and Anthony Rizzo, who won the Gold Glove last year. And then behind the plate, Wilson Contreras. And obviously, Kyle Hendricks pitching. That brings up the veteran Jed Jerko, making his Brewers debut here as he takes a change down low, 1-0.
Inside, ball 2.
Pitch misses inside. 2-0. Just like any good broadcast now, we got the StatCast, but it's called Showcast here in the game. As Jerko takes a drive to center field, that one's going back, still going back, but caught at the track. Is Happ, and he'll make the out at the warning track. A good ride by Jerko.
Orlando.
Just missed it.
Arcia.
And there's 2 outs here in the second. Orlando Arcia takes a sinker there for a strike. Arcia had a decent season at the plate, had 15 home runs off of only hitting 3 the year before. Takes one inside, 1-1. The only problem was just the defensive part. Yeah, he had a little trouble fielding the ball, and so he started getting put into a platoon with Hernan Perez, and kind of saw his playing time get cut in half there. But he's hoping to bounce back this season. He's going to have to. He's going to be pressured by Luis Urias, who they picked up from San Diego as he chops one over to short. Baez has the ball, and he'll make the play at first for the final out of the inning. 3 up and 3 down for the Brewers here in the second. They still hold on to the lead, 1-0. Kyle Hendricks is going to lead off here for the Cubs.
The pitcher.
Good time to mention that if you want to ask questions in the chat or ask questions in the comments, if you're watching this on a replay on my YouTube channel, please feel free to do that. I'm going to have special promotions that happen throughout the thing. Not really promotions, but things I'll do during the game. Like today, because I don't really have anything else to do, I'm going to have my craft beer of the game. And it's from One Barrel Brewing Company in Door County. And I'm drinking the Commuter Kolsch Style Ale. It's a very good beer, good crisp, good spring beer. If I was actually at opening day, I'd probably be having a Kolsch. So that's your craft brewery beer of the game, the Commuter Kolsch Style Ale. Get it where fine beers are sold. Woodruff is down 3-0 on the opposing pitcher. Not a good place you ever want to be as he throws a slider in there just to get one over to make it 3-1. Comes the 3-1 and takes one on the outside corner. So work the count back to full here. But not after Kyle Hendricks has made him work for it here. Here comes the full count offering, and that's up. And he's going to walk the opposing pitcher. That's just like the worst thing you can do. It's one of the worst things to do in baseball. Walk the opposing pitcher. You know, just throw a strike, see what they can do. They can put the ball in play. I mean, look at that. He doesn't even know that he should just stand on the bag. He's already worried about what his leadoff is. That's not how you should go about it. You're not going to be in good shape doing that. As we get back to the top of the order, and Javier Baez. And he swings, and it's a pop-up into center field. Lorenzo Cain is going to get under that one and make the play for the first out of the inning. So 1 pitch and 1 out.
Now batting.
Definitely like seeing that, especially after that was his 40th pitch for Woodruff. Yeah, we talked a lot about that opening day curse that these Brewers pitchers seem to have. You look at, like I mentioned, Julius Chacin last year, opening day starter, actually had a really good game. Only gave up 3 runs. Gave up a 3-run homer to Harrison Bader. That game was on TV actually today because you got to throw something on TV when there's no actual opening day going on. Here's the 1-0, and that's up for 2-0. Yeah, Chacin even had a home run last year in that game. Extended the Brewers' lead. Then by the end of the year, he wasn't even playing for the Brewers. There's a check swing, but it doesn't matter. 3-0. Look at the year before that, Chase Anderson only went 9-8. Didn't even pitch in that last week of the season. Not in a starting capacity at least. And didn't even make the postseason roster. 2017, Junior Guerra only went 1-4, only started 14 games. I was at that game. He laid down a bunt in the, I think the 2nd or 3rd inning and pulled a hamstring and was put on the injured list right away. Here's the 3-1, and that's on the inside corner. So full count once again here in the 3rd. Brewers fans trying to get behind Woodruff here. Looking for that double play ball. 2016, Willie Peralta. He was the opening day starter. He went 7-11, but had a 7.85 ERA. And that one misses, so another walk here in the 3rd. And that's going to bring up Chris Bryant.
The third baseman, Chris.
3rd walk of the game for Brandon Woodruff. He also has 4 strikeouts, but the walks are probably a little more concerning at this point in time. Yeah, Willie Peralta had a rough 2016. He did come back in 2017, but was designated for assignment during that season as well. 2015, Kyle Loesch was the opening day starter. He went 5-13 on the season, and then that was his last year with the Brewers. Woodruff misses again, 1-0. Woodruff having trouble finding the strike zone here in the 3rd. He's already running up that pitch count. Not what you like to see on your opening day. Getting close to that 50 pitch mark and not even into the Not even with only one out here in the third inning. And there's a strike, 1-1. And in 2014, Giovanni Gallardo, that was his last season with the Brewers as well. He was the opening day starter, only went 8-11. That wasn't exactly the greatest team, so you kind of understand the record there. But still, the last few opening day starters have not fared well, as that one's ripped foul, heads up down there on the left field side. So Woodruff hoping to shake that curse. Have a good, strong season, and I think he will. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss on the changeup, and that is the 5th strikeout for Brandon Woodruff here today. And 2 outs. Look at the determination in his face. Just floats that one in there. Bryant way ahead of it. And there's 2 outs. Here comes Wilson Contreras, strikeout victim in the first. And he pops that one up right behind home plate. Rivera is right there, and he makes the catch to secure the out. So just what Woodruff was looking for, 1 pitch and 1 out. He gets it. And the walk, 2 walks in the inning, don't do any damage. Brewers still have the lead. Brandon Woodruff steps up to the plate here. He did have an average. He probably had an RBI. Don't know if he had a home run, but none of those stats make any sense that you're seeing there. Probably one of the best hitting pitchers in the game. And as he swings and misses, right on cue. Chases a pitch up and out. Of course, I don't think anyone's going to forget his home run off of Clayton Kershaw in the NLCS in 2018. Tied up the game. Gave the Brewers a much-needed spark. Would go on to win that game. Won't talk about the rest of the series, but as Woodruff pops one up. Brian underneath it makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
The center fielder, number 6.
And that's going to bring up Lorenzo Cain.
Cain.
Reached on an error in the first, and then scored on a wild throw. And what probably could have been, more than likely, a double play ball. But take what you can get here. He takes one inside. Decent numbers against Hendricks, 5 for 22. That's going to be very helpful throughout the season. Seeing those matchup stats there in the corner. Takes one outside, 2-0. Showing a little more patience this time around. Probably a good sign. Swings through that one, 2-1. Throwing half the pitches that Woodruff's throwing here. So looking to work the count a little bit more as he swings through. And way early on that changeup as well. And just like that, the count is even, 2-2. And he chases that one as well, and he goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. One fan in the background very upset by that strikeout.
Yelich.
Christian Yelich steps up to the plate. Infield single, first inning. Lets that one go by for a ball. Just missing the outside corner there. Takes another one, 2-0.
2 balls, no strike.
A little more patience here. 2-0 counts. Hopefully takes the changeup. A little different approach than Cain. Just was chasing after those ones in the strike zone. Looks like Hendricks trying to keep them off balance here. Knowing that they're going after those first pitches, coming back with those off-speed pitches, trying to see if the Brewers are going to stay aggressive and try to keep them off balance. Cain takes one into the gap through that shift, and he's going to be on for a second hit of the game. Good start to the season there as he beats the shift, punches that one into left center.
The second baseman. Kester.
Good piece of hitting, takes that one inside out. And with 2 outs, that's going to bring up Keston Hira. And runners going. Throw down there, and Yelich is in there. First stolen base of the season there. And just like that, Brewers got a runner in scoring position here in the third. Gets in there, nice slide. Easily beats that one. Now, the 1-0 count here, I can try to drive in a run. And takes that one inside, 2-0. Keston Hira playing in his first full season here with the Brewers. Came up in June. Travis Shaw having troubles getting the bat going, and they brought up their top prospect to provide a spark, and boy did he. Had a great season with the Brewers last year. 19 home runs, 49 RBIs. That was just in 84 games, so just a little over almost half the season he played. Batted .303, and they're expecting big things in the future as well. He's going to be a cornerstone in this Brewers lineup. As he takes a strike, 3-1. Runner on second, 2 outs here in the third. Brewers getting a run on a couple of throwing errors in the first. Here comes the pitch, and that's outside. And another walk here by the Brewers.
The left fielder, number 24.
Actually, it's only the first walk for the Brewers.
Garcia.
Just another walk in the game. If you take all the teams' walks that have happened, another walk. For the Brewers, just the first walk. As Aviseo Garcia steps in, reached on an error in the first. He swings and smokes that one down the left field line, but that is going to be foul. And he takes that one, but right to the third baseman and get the out at second. And that's going to retire the side here in the third. Brewers get a hit, get a walk. Can't do anything with it. 1-0 after 3.
Leading off for the Cubs.
Well,
The
I'm all
first
about
baseman, number
engagement
44,
here
Anthony.
with these streams as Anthony Rizzo steps in to lead off the fourth here. So the fourth inning is going to be the trivia inning. I don't have a sponsor for it yet, but there will be a trivia question, and we'll give you the answer here later in the game. Woodruff pitches here in the fourth. That's a ball down low. Trivia question for today: since the Brewers joined the National League, who have the Brewers played the most in their home openers? Well, Brewers joined the National League first season in 1998. This one is down as well, 3-0 here on Anthony Rizzo. He's played pretty much everyone on an opening day, and that's a strike in the outside corner, 3-1. It's the nice thing about Miller Park. It can close the roof, and the weather's always going to be good inside. Don't have to worry about rain, don't have to worry about snow. There's the 3-1, and Rizzo fouls that one off, 3-2. So you can have opening day when everyone else is having opening day. You don't have to worry about the weather at all. And as he rolls that one over, Arcia there to make the play. A lot of time, and gets the out at first for the first out of the inning.
Now batting, left fielder, Kyle.
They didn't used to start the season so early. They'd start the season mid-April, be a little bit warmer, but some areas would still be pretty cold. Like the Cubs, they start their seasons, their home schedule. They're usually a second week team, giving a little more time for the weather to warm up, but it's never warm. It's never warm when they have their home opener. It's going to be windy and rainy, cold and miserable, but just how it works. Schwarber
Outside, that's a ball.
outside, 2-0. So Woodruff not starting out strong on these Cubs hitters, falling behind in a lot of these counts early on. Here comes the 2-0. Follows that one back. Comes the 2-1, swing and a miss on the high fastball, 2-2. So yeah, when you have the roof over your head, doesn't limit you at all. You can play as many games. You can host other teams. You've seen that happen a lot. And there's another strikeout. Second of the game for Schwarber. That is the
Now back.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeout overall for Woodruff.
Pat.
It's rolling along here in the fourth. Definitely could use another quick inning here. He's thrown a lot of pitches already. Brewers do have the benefit. Same with the Cubs. They have an off day tomorrow. Don't play until Saturday. As Ian Happ takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. So in the video game world, they'll get their green bars all the way back up, be perfectly energized for another game. There's another strike, 0-2. There you see the pitch total. 26 balls. That's definitely where Woodruff has struggled, not being able to find the strike zone. And that one's just inside, just misses on that one. Almost looked like the same spot, but called the ball. And the swing and a miss. Strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts. Another strikeout for Happ, and 7 strikeouts for Woodruff. Brewers still lead 1-0. Move to the bottom of the fourth. Ryan Braun steps up to the plate.
The first baseman, Ryan Braun.
Once again, stats on 2019 are way off. I'll give you the real stats that he had. Batted .285. And he's got some milestones coming up this season. You wonder if it might be his final season with the Brewers. This is the final year of his contract. 14 years with the Brewers. Takes another strike, 0-2.
0-2.
Batted .298, 360 on base, .533 slugging. As he fouls one off down the left field line. .893 OPS. Braun is 67 hits away from 2,000. And he chops that one foul. He's 6 away from 350 home runs. He definitely will hit that this year. And he's 72 RBIs away from 1,200. So he's got some milestones coming up. And if this is the final season for him, not a bad one to end on with all those milestones as he swings and misses at that slow curve. And that's the first out of the inning.
Now batting.
And the second strikeout on the day for Ryan Braun. Omar Narvaez steps up to the plate. Grounded out to first in his last appearance, and he takes the strike. 0-1. And he chops that one to left field, and that's going to get by Schwarber. That's going to get to the wall. And Narvaez is going to be in with a stand-up double here in the fourth. I don't know why I say he chopped it, because that was a good level swing.
Yeah.
He took that one over Schwarber's head all the way to the wall. That's a double all day and twice on Sunday for the Brewers catcher. So getting his first hit as a Brewer, and he's in scoring position for Jed Jerko. Fouls that one off. Jerko flew out to deep center in his first at-bat. As you can see, in 2019, in his last time in the graphic, it said he did nothing. Now when it says 267, who knows what's going on? Hey, MLB The Show, how about you patch that out of here? This is ridiculous. I'm trying to run an honest broadcast. I'm trying to tell people all the stats. I want them to be well informed. And you can't even get your graphics right. Let's go. Get it figured out. Jed Jerko punches that one to right field for a base hit. Narvaez, he's going to hold up at third. Doesn't have the greatest wheels. And Jed Jerko's on with a one-out single.
Up next for Milwaukee. The shortstop.
First and third, Orlando Arcia coming up to bat. With a chance to drive in a run here.
At the ball.
He takes that one down, 1-0.
Count 1-0.
This is the situation that Craig Counsell wants Orlando Arcia to step up in. These clutch situations. Runners on base. Needs him to work the count. Put the ball in play.
Nope, it's not.
Takes one inside. Good eye. 2-0. Hendricks might be working around Arcia, but always a challenge there. Got Woodruff on deck. Good hitting pitcher. Comes the 2-0. That's in there for a strike. Counsell going through in his mind all the possibilities. He can go to someone on the bench. He can let Woodruff keep going out there. Woodruff's throwing a good game. It's only the 4th inning. Probably see him come up again. Here comes the 2-1. That one's up. 3-1.
3 balls, 1 strike.
And drives that one, and that one's going to be 4-6-3 double play. And just like that, the inning is over. Brewers get a couple of hits, and that's it. They're still up after 4, 1-0. Oh, there's Heidi Watney. Heidi, so sorry. We still don't know what you're saying. We're still having audio troubles. Looks like they're talking about Javier Baez over there. He is the cover athlete for MLB The Show this year. That's a fake David Ross. That is not David Ross. Doesn't look anything like him. He's smelling his hands. He's praying that his team could actually do something here. Jason Kipnis is going to lead off
Leading off for the
the
Cubs.
top of the 5th here for the
second
Cubs.
baseman, Jason Kipnis.
Like I said, Kipnis. It's Kipnis. Grounded out the first in his last at bat. Looking to go up on this first pitch, and it's going to miss. Looked like a good one. Looked like it was right at the top of the zone. Woodruff, can't believe it. He's just going to squint evilly at the umpire and put his hands on his hips saying, come on, man, that's Bush League. I don't need that. I'm a professional. Here comes the 1-0. There's a strike, 1-1. Corbin Burns, Alex Claudio, they're going to be warming up there in the Brewers bullpen. Just in case. Things get a little sticky here in the 5th. And there's a fly ball to deep right, but Christian Yelich, he's working his way, going back. Going to camp underneath it and make a catch for the first out of this inning. Well, your trivia question was who the Brewers have played the most
Kyle.
in home openers since joining the National League in 1998. And the answer is the Colorado Rockies. Rockies, they've made 4 home openers for the Brewers back in 2010, 2013, 2015, 2017. So, makes sense. You never know what the weather's going to be like in Colorado in the first week of April, so Rockies usually on the road for their first few games of the year, and makes sense that they head over to Milwaukee for those games. You know you're going to get some games in, you can get that rhythm. That kind of can ruin a rhythm when you don't play those first few games. I remember a couple years ago, a lot of snow in the north and the northeast. Put a lot of games behind, and when that happens, you got to make them up later in the season, and that can mess with guys' schedules. And there's a swing and a miss, and another strikeout for Woodruff here.
The batter, the shortstop.
8 strikeouts for Woodruff on the game.
Baez.
Get another quick inning here. You never know; he might come back out for the 6th. He's had some quick innings. Javier Baez steps in here.
Ball 1.
0 for 2 on the game. Takes the ball outside. And swings through that one, 1-1.
1 strike.
Yeah, making up games later in the season, whether it's through doubleheaders or scheduled off days.
No, that's down.
They're usually never in a time when you actually want them to happen. Ryan up a nice day off. He drives that one to left, and then Garcia's going to let that one drop in front of him for a base hit. So a 2-out hit by Baez. That's going to bring up Jason Hayward.
Now batting,
Walked twice in 2 plate appearances. See the line on Brandon Woodruff, just the second hit he's given up today. He's walked 3, struck out 8. Pitch count already getting up there here in the 5th inning. One outside, 1-0. Hayward's been patient at the plate today. 2 walks. Been stranded both times. He's reached base. There's one on the inside corner, 1-1. Third base coach, Kowitski, giving the signs over there. Letting them know what play is going on. Might see the runner in motion. Baez has got pretty good wheels over there. And that one's up, 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Baez talking to his first base coach. His first base coach does not have a helmet on. I feel like that should be an automatic out or something for not following the rules. Hayward fouls one off, 2-2. Check over at first, and Baez is back in there. As you can see, he's got a 70 speed, so he can move around those bases. So one in the gap, and with 2 outs, expect him to score. So you got to keep the ball down, and the runner's going. There goes Baez, and he is out of there. Great throw by Narvaez, and that's going to do it for the Cubs. So a great play, right pitch, gets the catch, nice tag, right at the right time.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for the Brewers, number 7.
So Eric Sogard's going to come in to pinch hit here for Brandon Woodruff. So that'll close the book on Woodruff. Goes 5 strong, 7 strikeouts. Did have the 3 walks. Only gave up 2 hits. No runs, that's the important thing. And he'll give this one to the bullpen for the rest of the way. Sogard takes a strike there, 1-1. Sogard on his second tour with the Brewers. He was with them back in 2017 and started the season in 2018 with the Brewers, but then got sent back down to AAA and then eventually ended his season with Tampa Bay, I believe. Played last year with the Toronto Blue Jays. And now he's back as a free agent. Had a really good year in 2017. Didn't quite have the bat in 2018, and then 2019 was able to get that stroke back, and Brewers saw enough in him to bring him back for another tour of duty. And we'll see how he does here in 2020, as he has a full count here. And here's the pitch. Swing and a chopper over to third. Bryant's got it. Make the throw over to first for the first out of the inning.
The center fielder, number 6, Lorenzo Kane.
Here comes Lorenzo Kane. 0 for 2 on the day, struck out in the third. Reached on air and later scored in the first. And he takes that one the other way, and Hayward's going to be there to make the catch for the second out of the inning. So once again, going after those first pitches.
Now batting, right fielder.
It's just going to help Hendricks out even more. 63 pitches through 5, and I imagine he'll keep coming back. Unless the Brewers can start hanging some crooked numbers on him. Christian Yelich steps in with 2 outs. And he takes that one the other way, and that's going to get down for another hit. So a 3-hit day on opening day for Christian Yelich.
Now batting, the second baseman.
Curveball, keeps the weight back. Just like you're taught to do, push that ball into left field. Beat the shift every time you hit it over their head. I don't know much about baseball, but I do know that. Keston Harris steps in, and he takes one up, 1-0. Not a lot of high strikes from this umpire. So the Brewers are wise to let those go by. Yelich has some wheels himself over at first. Stole a base already. There's a pitch out. They're thinking the same thing. Deep and close over there. That was the 2-0 to Hero. And that one's at the knees, 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike. The count.
Craig Counsell giving some signals, knowing he's right behind that pillar, so cameras can't pick him up, and some guy over in the other dugout can't bang out a signal to the team. As Hero swings and fouls that one off, 2-2. Umpire showing off his arm. Here comes 2-2. Yelich is going. Throw down there, and he's in there with his second stolen base of the game. Christian Yelich is just trying to get that MVP right away in this first game. 3 hits, 2 stolen bases. As the arm goes right through Christian Yelich. He's so fast that it just goes right through him. Full count here to Hero. Here's the payoff pitch. And that's down low for a ball 4. So first and second here. 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Garcia.
Garcia.
1-2, reach down the air, fielder's choice in his last at bat. See what he can do with runners in scoring position. Takes that one outside, 1-0. And that one's fouled back as well. 1-1 here on Garcia. Looking for his first hit, and Brewers' new cream jerseys here. Symbolic of the Cream City. Sits back on that one and pops that one out to center field. Happ is underneath it. And he's going to make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Brewers get a couple of base runners. Can't do anything with them. So after 5, Brewers still up 1-0.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Brewers.
Corbin Burns is going to make his 2020 debut for the Brewers. Pitched in 32 games last year. Had a 1-5 record. Had a really strong 2018. 7-1. Was a huge arm out of that bullpen, and for a lot of people, he was going to be the next big ace out of the. As he's a rounder, Sogard's going to have to hurry, and he's going to make the play. Sorry, that's Hira making the play over at first. And that's the first out of the inning.
Third baseman, Chris Bryant.
Burns was tabbed to be one of the future ace of this staff, but had some struggles. Gave up a lot of runs, especially late in games. And had trouble finding that control, and eventually found his way back down in AAA to work out some kinks. Found his way back up during the call-ups, and got his groove back a little bit, but hoping that 2019 was just a fluke year and he can get back to where he was in 2018. Bryant swings through that one. It's 0-2. Ferraison and Claudio warming up in the Brewers bullpen. Ferraison is, I think, a game-created player, so I have no idea who he is, as there's a strikeout for Burns. And that's his first strikeout of the season, and the 3rd strikeout for Bryant, so throw out your caps onto the field, because that's the hat trick. Chris Bryant here in home opener. It's going to bring up Wilson Contreras. 0-2. He takes a curveball for a strike. Yeah, Ferraison, I think was created by MLB The Show, because I have no record of him in anything I've looked up. It says he was acquired in a trade, which I think was just made up. So we'll just have to make it up as we go, and his storyline will come to fruition as the season progresses. 0-2 pitch, brushes him back, 1-2. Here comes the 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Try to get him to chase. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks here in the 6th. And Corbin Burns has a 1-2-3 inning for the Brewers. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Brewers up 1-0. Well, they did a sausage race during the break. And let's say Hot Dog won. Hot Dog's your winner on opening day in the sausage race, so go claim your tickets if you had money on Hot Dog, as Ryan Braun steps up to the plate here in the 6th. Has 2 strikeouts on the day. See some scores from other opening days around the league. Mets are up 9-4 on the Nationals. Reigning champs in a deep hole there early on. Alonso still raking, 4 RBIs, reigning Rookie of the Year in the National League. Some of the games haven't even started, so we're getting updates on those. Cardinals and the Reds, they'll play this afternoon. Cardinals will make their way to Miller Park after this series, and after they're done in Cincinnati. Braun punches that one to right. Hayward after it, and he'll make the play for the first out of the inning.
The batter, the catcher.
And here comes Narvaez. Hit the double back in the 4th. But was stranded. See what he can do here in the 6th. Takes one on the inside corner. Falls that one off, 0-2. So in a hole deep here for Narvaez. It's outside, 1-2. Brewers have 1 run on 5 hits. The 1 run actually didn't even come off of a hit or anything. A couple throwing errors in the 1st, scored Kane, and that's how the Brewers have gotten on the board, but haven't been able to do much since. And there's a swing and a miss for another strikeout.
The third baseman, number 5, Jed Jerko.
Comes Jed Jerko, 1 for 2 here, had the single to right field in the 4th inning. Takes a curveball, 69 miles an hour. Usually, in some cases, a lot of guys, as they get in later in the games, they'll throw a little harder. You see the miles per hour go up a little bit. I feel like Hendricks has gotten slower in these innings. Which, if you're the Brewers, you got to take advantage of that and sit back on one and drive it somewhere. As Jerko punches one over to Kipnis. He'll take his time and make the play over at first, and that's another 1-2-3 inning for Hendricks. 3 up and 3 down for the Brewers, but they're still up as we head to the 7th. Craig Counsell is going to go talk to the umpire. He's going to exchange some recipes, but more importantly, he's going to make a double switch here. We'll see who he's got coming in. It's going to be the left-handed specialist, Alex Claudio.
These changes for Milwaukee. Now pitching and batting in the 6th.
Claudio, left-handed specialist, is going to have to face more than 1 batter this year. It's the new rule is you got to face at least 3 batters when you make an appearance. You can't just go in there for one batter. You got to be there for 3, or you have to finish the inning. Whatever happens. If you got to end of the inning, you can face 1 guy, but if you come to start an inning, you got to face 3 guys. Anthony Rizzo steps in. So we got the lefty-on-lefty matchup here that Craig Counsell was looking for. Guess he didn't make a double switch. I guess he just wanted to go out there and personally make that change.
Counts 1-0.
That one's outside as well. 2-0. Claudio, a sinker ball pitcher. He's going to want to keep the ball down. He's got the sinker ball. He's got the slider. He's got a good change. The main thing is for these matchups here. Fouls that one off, 2-1. There's a pitch. Grounder over to Braun. He'll gobble that one up and make the out over at first. One away.
Now back.
Good-sized crowd here at Miller Park,
Kyle
as usual for opening day.
Schwarber.
Got a lot of Brewer fans, but as usual with this series, a lot of Cub fans making the trip up I-94 to Wrigley North, as many will call it. Ball down, 1-0. I will say, looking at the crowd, not a ton of Cubs fans, but I'm just basing it off of this view I got. Actually, probably a lot more Cubs fans than you would expect in a game. I guess the people at MLB The Show know what usually happens with Brewer games. It's usually a lot of Cubs fans, and it's very annoying. It was one of my apprehensions of getting opening day tickets this year, especially if it's against the Cubs. It's kind of a good news, bad news situation. The good news is I got opening day tickets. The bad news, I got to deal with Cubs fans. That's never fun. Any opportunity to stay away from Cubs fans is always a good one, especially at Miller Park. This is coming from someone who has a lot of friends who are Cubs fans, but try not to bring up the Cubs in those situations. So Claudio's down here. 3-1 count to Schwarber. And there's a good slider. Swing and a miss. 3-2. Looking to put another hat trick on another Cubs batter here. Comes the full count pitch. And there's a grounder. Jerko's going to range over and not make the play. Schwarber, not the fastest guy, but with that shift that they had on for him, a lot of ground for Jerko to cover on a slow chopper. You play in regular depth, play in a regular positioning, that's an easy play, but in that situation, he's going to be safe. So Kyle Schwarber gets his first hit of the season, and that's going to bring up Ian Happ. He struck out twice as well. The Cubs have one on, one out here in the top of the seventh. There's a ground ball. Oh, and it eats up Arcia. That's going to make it to the outfield. Schwarber's going to go to third. Here comes the runner to second. They don't really know he's doing that. And it is second and third, one out here in the seventh.
Now back.
That was a hard hit ball right at Arcia. And that ate him alive. And then a good strong turn by Happ, and he's going to make it into second. A little bit more of a heads-up play. They might have been able to make the throw to second, but not sure the official scores decision on that one. I didn't quite see it. But that's okay. Jason Kipnis steps up to the plate. Ground out and a fly out here in the game. He's going to hit with two runners on. Looks like the corners are in. Looks like they might give up the run up the middle for an out. He fouls that one off. 0-1. Other thing about this shabby setup I don't have a cough button. So you're going to hear all those things as there's another foul ball, 0-2. So way up here on the Cubs' second baseman. It'd be a huge out to get right here. Here comes the 0-2. Check swing, and he held up. 1-2. Good pitch. Here comes the 1-2. Grounded. Past Arcia, couldn't get a glove on it. That's going to score a run, and this game is tied at 1. I don't know what happened there. It looked like it was a ball right at Orlando Arcia, and it just went right by him. I don't know if it was knuckling or the sun. It's just, you have to make that play. You just have to make that play. Now we got first and second, actually first and third with one out, and that's going to bring up J.P. Fariasen out of the bullpen to make his big league debut. And what the position to be put in. Cubs Brewers rivalry, tie game, 7th inning. Got a runner on first, and your skip is really hoping you throw a ground ball here so that you can get the double play. Nico Horner is going to pinch hit for the Cubs. Second year with the Cubs. He fouls that one off into the seats. 0-1. It's a good thing this guy's first name is JP. That's going to be probably easier to pronounce than whatever his last name is. Here comes the 0-1, and that's outside, 1-1. Going with the old hockey number of 76. Number definitely reserved for guys on the 40-man roster, but might not have a chance to actually make the move up. This is outside again, 2-1. One out, runners at the corners, top of the 7th here. A tie game. Off of the line drive Kipnis just hit. And there's another one that misses, 3-1. So running the risk of loading the bases for the cover boy, Javier Baez. JP adjusts his hat. It's a very long blink. His fans are trying to get behind their pitcher and their team. Here comes the 3-1. And that's right in there, full count. Interesting to see what happens here. See if the runner's going. See how that double play situation. Ground ball would then definitely score a run. So we'll see if Kipnis is going on the pitch here. Here comes the full count. And right down the middle on the slider. Got him guessing. And that is a huge strikeout for the rookie. As there is now 2 strikes. And as you see there, the first Major League strikeout. Horner's just staring down the pitcher. I don't know. Pretty good pitch. I don't know why he'd be so disgruntled. Should be more disappointed in yourself, young man. If you're that concerned about striking out. Javier Baez is up here with 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Top of the 7th. Had the single in the last inning, then was caught stealing. And a good throw from Baez. Here comes the pitch, and that's just missing off the inside corner, 1-0. Not missing by much, but you got to get a full ball across that plate. You're not going to be able to just get a seam. Got to get the full thing. And there's a rip down the line, and that is foul. In the crowd taking a big sigh of relief on that one. That would have definitely scored a couple there. The Brewer fans getting on their feet, cheering their team on. And there's a strike right at the knees, 1-2. And this crowd's getting louder. Everybody on their feet, getting behind the young man. His Major League debut, the 1-2. Grounder over to second. Here has got it. He bobbles it and makes the flip and still gets the out at second. Little bit of a sloppy play there, but they get the out. But not after the Cubs tie this game up on a couple of hits. And they're tied at 1 going into the stretch. Oh, there's Heidi. We can't. Heidi, sorry, you're still talking, but we can't hear you. Well, whatever. Orlando Arcia is going to lead off the inning here. Shot at Counsell, kind of thinking about what he wants to do here in this situation. He's going to have a pinch hitter coming up here on deck. And Alec Mills is going to take the mound for the Cubs. Pitched in just 9 games last year. 1-0 record, 1 save in his 1 opportunity. Arcia will step up to the plate.
Leading off for the Brewers, the shortstop.
Ground out to short, hit into inning double play.
Arcia.
Back in the 5th, in the 4th. And here he is leading off the 7th as he takes one inside, 1-0. Takes another ball, 2-0. Not much on Mills, pitched in just 9 games last year. But he is in his 3rd season. Got a good fastball, curveball, change, slide. Got the kitchen sink to work with. And here comes the pitch, and like I mentioned earlier, he's not giving that high strike, so 3-0. Looks like Manny Piña's got a bat. He's going to be in that pitcher spot coming up here in the 7th. And there's a pitch outside. So a 4-pitch walk to Orlando Arcia here to lead off the 7th. That's what the Brewers are looking for. Get something going here.
The catcher, Manny Piña.
Pura and Wick warming up in the Cubs bullpen. Manny Piña is going to get his first at-bat of the season. And he takes another ball, so 5 straight balls from the Cubs pitcher. Imagine the Brewer fans are going to start getting on his case. Be lucky he's not at Texas A&M. You'd be hearing the chanting by now. Everyone anticipating that ball 6. Here's the pitch. And he swings and flies to right field. Hayward underneath it. And after 5 straight balls, the trigger finger was just a little too itchy. And he goes after a pitch and there's 1 out.
The center fielder, Lorenzo Kane.
Lorenzo Kane steps in with 1 out here in this bottom of the 7th. 1-1 game. Cubs scoring in the top half of the 7th inning.
Nope.
This one down 1-0. Just joining the slate, Brandon Woodruff. Strong start, went 5 at 8 strikeouts, no runs. Chops that one foul, 1-1. Here comes the 1-1. Oh, another foul. That one's going to reach the seats. 1-2. And the umpire going to show off his arm again. He wants to keep loose. It's his first game, too. Have a little catch with the pitcher. Swing, a foul. And watch out there on that right side. That one's coming in hard and hot. Do it again. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a line, and that's going to be, he's going to miss it, and he's going to flip it, and he's going to get it out when he could have easily just stepped on the bag. He's thinking teamwork makes the dream work, and I'm going to get my pitcher involved. And he's going to secure the out at first base. Just slapped it down that first baseline. Wasn't quite able to sneak it around there and past Rizzo. And there's 2 outs for the Brewers. But there's a runner on second. See if Christian Yelich can stay hot. 3 singles, 2 stolen bases. Well, might as well add an RBI to the ledger here today. Got a runner at second, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Christian Yelich looking to give his team the lead here late on opening day. He takes one right down the middle for a strike. These are the situations that Christian Yelich has come through so many times for these Brewers. Fans are just getting used to it. Coming through with a big hit when needed. Did it many times last year. Let's see if he's got it in him today. And there's one in the dirt, but a good block by Contreras. It's going to keep the runner at second here, 1-1. Yelich looking for something to drive. Sits back on that one, and that one's deep, and they're just going to watch that one fly. Christian Yelich has done it again! Home run, Brewers! Christian Yelich sent that one to the porch. Bernie Brewer's ecstatic, wearing an old Brewers uniform. MLB The Show couldn't afford to get that one in there, and Christian Yelich having a day. His 4th hit, 2-run bomb, and the Brewers have a 3-1 lead here in the 7th. My goodness. Look at this swing. Just sat back on the curve, and he knew it from the get-go. Admiring his handiwork. Just going to flip that bat over here. Look at that. 420 feet, 106 miles an hour. Off the bat. Just an absolute moonshot for the former
back,
MVP.
second baseman, Kessler.
And Hura takes one up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. So back-to-back hits for the Brewers. And 2 outs here. Runner on first.
Now back.
Just a good piece of hitting right back up the box.
Garcia.
Brewers going to keep it going here with 2 outs. Narvaez, or that's Garcia, beg your pardon.
Count 1-0.
Takes one down, 1-0. Garcia 0 for 3 on the day. Here comes the 1-0. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Garcia fouls that one off to the right side, 1-2. Crowd still buzzing. Christian Yelich just gave their team a 3-1 lead. Garcia seeing if he can do some damage here as well. As he takes that one, little chopper over to Kipnis. Pick it and flick it and get the out over at first. But not after Christian Yelich sends an absolute bomb to right field. Brewers up 3-1. Craig Counsell's going to go to the bullpen. Let's see who he's got lined up coming in. Oh, looks like Manny Pena's in the game. Looks like there's a little double switch action at one point here. And Corey Knebel is going to make an appearance. That is not last year's stats because he didn't pitch last year.
Number 46.
Corey Knebel had Tommy John surgery right at the beginning of the season.
Now playing second.
He was a 8th inning setup guy, 7th inning setup guy. He was just a setup guy whenever you needed him in that playoff run back in 2018. And hoping to bounce back here and have a good, strong year. Let's see how the arm holds up. Probably not going to work him too hard, you'd think, but if it was a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, I guess he's going to be fine for our first strike. The 0-1. That's in the dirt, 1-1. 39,501 in attendance here for the home opener. Good-sized crowd, not quite to the max capacity, but what do you expect from a bunch of video game people? Corey Knebel looking to get this game to the 9th, and then it'll be Josh Hader who will take it from there. Here comes the 1-1. That's up and in, ball 2. Hader getting ready. Phelps getting ready just in case Knebel gets into any trouble here in the 8th. But you know, Counsell will not be shy if he sees there's any trouble after these first 3 batters. He will go to Hader immediately and have him close this thing out. He's not afraid as Hayward fouls one back, 2-2. Yeah, Corey Knebel was probably slated to be, he started the season in 2018 as the closer, then got injured. Jeremy Jeffress came in and just took that role on as there's a swing and a miss on the knuckle curve. And Corey Knebel, welcome back, gets a strikeout here in the 8th.
Now batting, the third baseman.
Jeremy Jeffress took that closer role. Josh Hader was just the lefty. I'm sorry, that swing and that slow motion, like they just took out all of the frames and it just looked ridiculous. And it threw off everything I was trying to say. And that I'm just flabbergasted by what transpired. But move on, I guess. Chris Bryant steps in, 0 for 3, struck out in the 6th, struck out in the 3rd, and also struck out in the 1st. So see if we can hang a 4-bagger on Chris Bryant here in the 8th. And there's a strike on the outside corner, so he's a third of the way there. Fake David Ross. That looks nothing like David Ross. If that's who is supposed to be that person, is David Ross, that is terrible. That is just bad. Here comes the 1-1. And brushes him back on that curve, 2-1. It's looking good indeed, as one lady just said, as that one's hit deep to left, but that is hooking foul. Earlier today, they had the NLDS Game 1, Brewers Rockies, on YouTube. He's looking for one up high, and he gets one, but not going to chase. Full count. That's a very correct sign. Corey Knebel, number 46. That is an accurate statement. That is a fact. That is just a statement, more than anything. So, and swings and misses at that inside curve. Got totally fooled, and that is 4 strikeouts for Bryant and 2 strikeouts for Corey Knebel in his return to the Brewers bullpen. That's going to bring up Wilson Contreras. He struck out in his last at-bat. He's also got 2 strikeouts on the day. Gets that one on the corner. 1-1. I don't believe those 2019 numbers. I don't believe them for one bit, and neither should you. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Corey Knebel. Is the crowd starting to stir or not? I guess they don't realize that he could be striking out the side. They must think this is the second inning. I don't know. But here comes the 0-2 to Contreras. Outside, 1-2. Fans are either too drunk to realize what's going on, tired, or just, this is what he does. He just strikes guys out. It's the big deal. Just sitting on their hands in this 8th inning. Big moment. Strike 3. Strikes out the side. And 3 strikeouts for Contreras. And a 3-up, 3-inning, 3-up, 3-out inning for Corey Knebel. Brewers lead 3-1.
Your attention, please. Now,
Rowan Wick.
for the Cubs.
Just rolls
Number
off the
50.
tongue, doesn't it? Is in for the Cubs here in the bottom of the 8th. Had 2 saves and 2 opportunities last year. Not much in the way of pitching repertoire. He's just got fastballs and a curveball.
Ryan.
That's all he's got. So we'll see what the Brewers can do with that as Ryan Braun steps up to the plate. 2 strikeouts, fly out in the game so far. See what he can do here in the bottom of the 8th. Looking for a couple of insurance runs for the Brewers.
At the ball.
Just takes that one down and in.
Ball
1-0.
no strike.
I wonder if they, even if they get a few runs, if you still see Hader just to shut the game down. You get a lot of runs, you might see Phelps, you might see someone else come in. The Brewers do have an off day tomorrow, so no worries about if Hader goes back-to-back games. Here comes the 1-0. That one's in the dirt. 2-0. Brewers will play on Saturday. We'll be back here with you right on this same YouTube channel. 6:10 first pitch. As Braun shoots one down left field line. 2-1. Freddie Peralta is going to be the starter for the Brewers. He's going to go up against Yu Darvish. 6:10 first pitch on Saturday evening. Hope to see you there, folks. And swing and a miss at a curveball down low. 2-2, just like that. And fouls that one off. Hanging tough there. 2-2 here on the Brewers veteran first baseman. Here's the 2-2. So fouls that one off as well. Kept the weight back, just a little bit behind on it. The curveball was coming, it looked like, but wasn't able to do anything with it. And that one's outside, runs the count full. Luis Urias got a bat, he's going to be on deck. Hitting in the pitcher's spot. And a swing and a miss. And Braun goes down swinging for the first out here in the 8th.
Now batting, number 2.
Just couldn't catch up to that fastball. And there's one out here in the 8th. Batting now, new Brewer, Luis Urias. Grounds one over to Kipnis. He'll make the play over to first. One pitch and one out. So I didn't even have time to tell you that came over in the trade
Number 5.
from San Diego with Eric Lauer. And that Zach Davies and Trent Grisham were sent to San Diego in that trade. No, I don't have any time to do any of that because he took one pitch, grounded out to second, and now he's out. So we're up to Jed Jerko, who's 1 for 3 here, singled back in the 4th. A fly out and a ground out. Pitch to Jerk goes down low, 1-0.
Counts 1-0.
Former Brewer Jeremy Jeffress warming up in the bullpen. Cubs hoping to hold the Brewers here, score a couple in the top, and then have to use those guys in the bullpen. 1-0, that's taken for a ball in the inside corner, 2-0.
No strike.
Grounder over to Rizzo, and he'll take it himself to get the last out of the inning. 3 up and 3 down. Brewers lead 3-1 as we head to the 9th inning.
Your attention, please.
Josh Hader's in to close the game for the Brewers.
Number
37
71.
saves last year on 44 opportunities. 138 strikeouts, 20 walks. The one stat that's not showing up there are the home runs. Josh Hader got touched up for 15 home runs last year. That was a huge problem. Guys were seeing him struggle. He was getting down in the count a lot on a lot of batters, and a lot of batters were just sitting dead red on that fastball. Some of them were a lot of home runs, as I remember, were going to opposite field. But you know, you got to throw a strike. You can just zone on one, and as he misses on inside, 1-0. Anthony Rizzo leading off here in the 9th. 1 for 3. Hader looking to close this one out for an opening day win for the Crew. Fastball at the knees, 1-1. Do that two-seamer. That's where you like to see Josh Hader. Keep it down, keep it up, just don't put it down the middle. Slider misses outside, 2-1. Hader still throwing hard, threw hard all of last year. He just gave up a lot of home runs, a lot more home runs, and in a lot of key situations. He's down 3-1 here on Rizzo. He's got 2 lefties coming up, in Rizzo and Schwarber, and I forget what handed bat Ian Happ is. So we'll see what happens when he gets to that batter. But he's got to focus on Rizzo here, down 3-1 on the count. Let's see what he comes back with. Pop foul, back into the netting, full count. Hader with a long look into Manny Pena. Here comes the full count pitch. Swing and a miss. And Rizzo goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning.
Now batting left field.
Was that big
Kyle
winding delivery. A swing and a miss. Rizzo looked like he was actually out in front of it. Just sitting red on the fastball, and yeah, he was out ahead of that one. Thinking fastball, looking fastball, missed the fastball. Schwarber takes one down, 1-0. Schwarber 1 for 3, striking out twice. Scored on that weird Kipnis line drive that Arcia decided not to play back in the 7th. He fouls that one, 1-1. Brewer fans starting to get a little loud, starting to get behind their lefty closer. They rise to their feet, everyone cheering. Everybody trying to get behind their pitcher. Another foul back, 1-2. Let's see what the big lefty comes with here. If he's going to try to keep him off balance with the slider or go up the ladder with the fastball. Let's see what he comes with. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the slider. Hader's pumped up. Schwarber can't believe what he just did. And the Brewers have 2 outs here in the 9th. And are 1 out away from getting an opening day victory as that ball just magically pops into the glove after hitting a different part of the glove. As the righty, he was a righty. Ian Happ is the Cubs' last hope to stay in this one. And he takes a strike, 0-1.
0-1. Ball.
This is up, 1-1.
1-1.
Long look into Pena. Here comes the 1-1. Slider just misses the inside corner, 2-1. I agree with that guy who just yelled that that was a strike. I'm wearing headphones. I can hear the crowd very well. You're throwing a little one person that you can actually hear every once in a while. Here comes the 2-1. That's outside, 3-1. So, Happ looking for something to drive here, I imagine. Comes the 3-1. Swing and a miss.
3-2.
And the count is full. Cubs down to their last strike. Once again, Brewer fans not necessarily rising to the occasion here. Well, stand up. Yeah, there we go. There you go. Now they're standing up, kind of getting louder. Here comes the full count pitch. Swing and a miss. Hader strikes out the side, and the Brewers win it 3-1. Great performance all around by the Brewers. But player of the game, no doubt, has to go to Christian Yelich. 4 for 4, and had that massive 2-run bomb in the 7th to give the Brewers the lead for good. And the Brewers starting off the season 1-0, just like you like to see. Hader closes it down. Trehariason is going to get the win. Mills takes the loss. Josh Hader gets his first save of the year. Cubs get 1 run on 5 hits. They had 2 errors. Brewers 3 runs off 7 hits. No errors. There's your game log. JP throws 2/3 of an inning. Gets 1 strikeout.
The victorious Brewers, 3 runs on 7 hits.
Just going to try to hear what the time of game was in the game. I don't necessarily know what the time of the game was in real time.
For the Cubs,
But it was about an
5 hits, 2 errors.
hour
They
and
left 7 men
32
on base.
minutes, I want to say, is what it was.
Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 41 minutes.
2 hours and 41 minutes is your time of game in
Our paid attention
video
at
game
Miller
land.
Park This afternoon.
But yeah, there's your
41,900.
stats. Christian Yelich having a day,
Brewers,
4
thank
for
you
4,
attending today's
home run,
game.
2 RBIs, had 2
reminder
stolen
to please
bases. That's not even
drive
mentioned in
home
there.
safely.
Hero going 1 for 2, 2 walks. Narvaez 1 for 3, had that double, and Orlando Arcia went 0 for 2, but did score that run off of the Yelich home run. Well, a good game by the Brewers. We'll be back tomorrow. 6:10 first pitch. Brewers and Cubs will do it again. Brewers will look to see what they can do against Yu Darvish. They'll send out Freddie Peralta, see if they can get that second win of the year. So 6:10 on Saturday night. Thank you everyone for joining us here tonight. Brewers win 3-1 off the Christian Yelich home run. Have a good night. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.